Well, the regions have changed demographically. In South Florida, we were known for condo power, seniors who moved from the Northeast or anywhere else and moved here. You don't have to be a demographer to understand that that's a dwindling supply, unfortunately. If a senior retired to South Florida in the 1970s or 80s, if they're still with us, they're in their 90s. So we knew that was a changing demographic, and what's occurred is we've had a great influx in South Florida of, especially in Broward County, of the Caribbean population, which are very politically oriented based on their history. Also in South Florida, specifically Broward, you've had an influx of folks who are of Haitian descent, a large Brazilian population growing. In Palm Beach County, a large influx of, again, Haitians, some folks from Mexico, especially in North Palm Beach County. So you've had a changing demographic with a reliable Democratic voter. The senior is dwindling, and you've had a growing increase of Caribbeans, of folks from other regions. In Central Florida, which has very much changed the dynamic statewide, that was always known as a Republican area. Now, because of Disney and other attractions, a huge Puerto Rican population has come literally from New York back to Florida, or came to Florida directly from Puerto Rico. And that changed the dynamic, turning 2 or 3 counties surrounding Orlando or Disney World into perhaps swing districts, which they weren't before, but certainly Democratic-leaning swing districts in performance in many ways. So the ability for us to win statewide has changed. Our task as Democrats is to educate and energize those voters. We have them now. We have to get them to show up at the polls. Also, because of the Hispanic population changing, everybody says the Hispanic population automatically thinks Cuban and thinks Miami. That's true, and the but is the generation after them of Cubans, first of all, have moved to Broward County, and they don't carry the same psychological baggage with them. Having, been expelled from the island, many of those folks were born in the United States or came here at a very, very young age. So their experience is not a Cuban experience, it's an American experience. Also, the diversity within the Spanish community is so significant. Again, Hispanics are Cubans, or they're Puerto Ricans. Those are kind of the two extremes, left and right, to some extent. And then we have folks from Venezuela that are very significant in this county, and so forth. And they are all very diverse. It changes the dynamic of what we used to call demographically, and you learned in school, that we were all mixed together, and we're a homogenous group. Even the Hispanic community is not a homogenous group in any way. And in fact, it's a different theory. It's called the salad bowl, where each person is still there, but they retain all their individual ingredients. They don't mesh together to become one conglomerated mix that blends evenly. So, and I think much the country is that way, and certainly Florida is much that way. We have a lot of different ingredients put into the salad bowl, but they all maintain their distinct individual flavor.
Cool. Okay, so you're talking about the Cubans a little bit, but can you